Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express and my name is Jeannie D. Now, I'm a really big believer in the way that you start your day kind of sets the tone for how the rest of your day will be. So this morning, I was woken up at about 7 o'clock with a stranger phoning me 100 times. And when I eventually answered, he said, "Thank you so much. I've just won 10,000 Rand on a radio competition just because I answered my phone." So I got me some really good karma this morning. So today we want you to take a step back from life, find a comfortable position and just relax with us. We are joined by Sister Jayanti. She's from the Brahma Kumaris Spiritual University and she's been an emissary for peace for 40 years. She's in South Africa on national tour to speak about the issue of spirituality in a fragmented world. Plus, it's not a Thursday without some fashion and beauty. And today we look into some great new hair care products, anti-aging treatments, and we're launching a brand new fashion series on Afternoon Express. More details on that later.
Welcome, South Africa. I'm Bonnie Mbuli. As usual, in your favorite kitchen in TV land, something is sizzling. A couple of weeks ago, we asked you to send us a picture of your favorite recipe using a Sea Harvest product, and the winner would get an opportunity to come into the kitchen and prepare it for us. And she sure done it, and her name is Janine Dunnett. Welcome to the loft.
Thank you.
And we also have our guest chef, Suan, to help us prepare it. So how do you feel? Are you excited? Congratulations again.
Yes, I'm excited. It's always great to win something.
Absolutely. And what is your recipe called?
It's Haddock enchilada.
Yeah, Haddock enchilada.
Yes.
That sounds exciting. Have you come across anything like
I
that?
have not come across a haddock enchilada, but grew up eating haddock quite a lot. So I'm excited. It's going to smell like my mom's kitchen, I think.
Absolutely. I love haddock. That was like my favorite fish growing up. Absolutely. Now, if you are a regular internet user, fast internet is a thing. Check it out.
Oh, fast internet is everything. Now, we live in a world where our phones provide connection, communication, and a constant source of information, making it hard for us to go anywhere without them. I'm an addict. But with phones come networks, and with networks come great responsibilities. General Manager of Network Deployment at MTN South Africa, Krishna Chetty, is about to explain how, with their upgraded infrastructure, they've managed to develop better download speeds for all of us. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you so much, Jeannie, and it's really nice to be on this side of the camera watching you.
Good. Now tell me, what was your inspiration behind upgrading your network and your services on our firm?
So it really revolves around two fundamental principles, okay? And to take a step back and go back to the conception of this entire thing back in the latter part of 2014, we plagued it on two fundamental principles like I spoke about. One is we listen to our customers. Our customers complained about slow throughput. They complained about lack of wider coverage, specifically coverage where you actually want to transact. So you're in your library, you're in your home, and you want to do stuff. And also we wanted to actually improve the throughput to make sure that the customers have an adequate experience. That was the first principle. The second is our own view of what the future is going to bring. And we felt that moving into the future, we're going to go from what we'd call a voice-centric ecosystem to a more data-centric ecosystem.
Okay.
So I was sitting here just looking around and everybody's on their phones doing stuff and connecting and social media and being updated. And we wanted to make sure that we are able to build networks that caters for that demand for lots and lots of people at the same time.
So then what role does investment play?
A massive role. So the mobile business is a highly CapEx intensive business. Yeah. And the plan that we embarked upon actually led us to spend 10 billion rands a year from 2015 up till this year. So that's about 30 billion rands over the last 3 years, including 2017, that we have invested into our network.
What additional perks are there? Because, I mean, let's be honest, faster download is everything. And you're more than welcome to spend 30 billion Rand on me anytime.
Of course. So what you can expect, like I said, is wider coverage and less frustration. So frustration manifests itself in drop calls. It's one of the biggest bugbears. The quality or the audibility of the voice call, which is really a proxy for how good the network is.
Yeah.
So we want to focus on that and not lose sight of the basics, drop calls, voice quality, but also to ensure that we build expansive networks to allow more people to transact on the network while not affecting the customer experience. So let's make it a little bit literal. What we did is we've spent a lot of money building more towers. Building more towers creates a lot more capacity, creates that coverage. We also spent a lot of money on building fiber. And the analogy I would use is fiber creates a multi-lane highway for data to flow into.
Okay.
So unlike the usual highways in Johannesburg,
Yeah.
we don't want congestion on our network.
No.
We don't want buffering on our network. So we spend a lot of money trying to embrace this, make it a lot bigger.
So fiber is just widening that highway.
It's creating multiple lanes on a highway.
Amazing.
That's pretty much what it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's incredible. Do people still make phone calls though? Because like the fact that I answered my phone this morning was completely fluke. I think voice notes are the only way to go.
Yeah, so I mean, what you find is there is not really a growth in the voice market.
Yeah.
It's actually declining as people shift from more voice
All
to
about
voice
text,
over
eh?
data, right?
Yeah.
So VoIP calls, whether it's WhatsApp or whether it's Viber or Skype, all of this is data being carried on the network. So the quality of your data network
Yeah.
bears testament to the customer experience.
Yeah.
And we pride ourselves in being a great service provider. And to be a great service provider, you have to provide excellent customer experience.
Exactly.
And that's
very
one of the
important.
paramount reasons we embarked
Yeah.
on this entire program.
Yeah. What are your future goals?
Well, we want more people to come onto our network. We've built this
Sure.
network. We want people to come on. We want them to experience what it is to be an MTN subscriber.
Okay.
Okay. Going further, we want to roll out more technologies. We want to get a lot more creative and use a lot more innovation to see how we can expand our footprint at a disproportionate cost. So what that means is, and to link it to a lot of the questions around data and the cost of data, we want to make sure that as we grow our traffic, we don't have a disproportionate growth in cost. So
Okay.
it helps us to be able to manage how this works. And to do that, we embark on a lot of innovation. And I don't want to get too technical here, but what we're doing is we use multiple path input and output of antenna systems, which creates more capacity with the same infrastructure.
Okay.
You get the high-end devices that are able to use this network, so it works. We're rolling out a lot more LTE in major metro areas, so you can get that faster download speed. I was sitting inside here and I did a speed test, and I got a remarkable speed in a very closed-off environment, which bears testament to the work that we've been doing.
Okay,
We've
good.
also not just put this out there, we've also tried to get some feedback from our customers, right? Because you need to, the proof is in the eating and the testing. And what
Yeah.
we found is, we use a metric called Net Promoter Score, which is really an unbiased view. And we've asked our customers, we've grown our Net Promoter Score over the last 6 months by over 50%.
Brilliant.
Which is
Well
really
done.
a testament to the great work that the guys have been doing.
Well done on all the great work that you're doing, and thank you so much for coming to tell us about it.
Thank you so much, Jeannie. It's
Thanks
been
for coming.
a pleasure to be on the show, and really nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Great.
Very exciting stuff. Now we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we're going to sit down on the couch with a spiritual global leader who's been an emissary of peace for over 40 years now. Don't go away when we return.
Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now it's time to take a step back from all the hustle and bustle of life and relax, because we're joined now by Sister Jayanti Kirpalani. She's been an emissary of peace for 40 years and is the director of the Brahma Kumaris Spiritual University in Europe and the Middle East.
She's currently on tour in South Africa to speak about the place of spirituality in the modern fragmented world. She's here to share some of her wisdom with us. Welcome to The Loft. Lovely
Thank
to
you.
have you with us.
I'm happy to be here. Thank
So
you.
lovely to have you. Firstly, what is an emissary of peace?
peace.
Because we know what a missionary is, but what is an emissary?
Yes.
Well, we put it in the sense of being a messenger of peace, carrying the message that peace starts inside. It's not something out there.
Yeah.
But if I can be peaceful, then I can create those vibrations of peace so that others around me can also calm down.
Yeah. And you definitely do
You're
admit
definitely
that.
calming us right now.
I'm glad, I'm glad.
You're the European director of the Brahma Kumaris. What is the Brahma Kumaris?
The Brahma Kumaris are a spiritual organization where we study things of the spiritual dimension. We use this word spiritual university because we believe that there's so much information about the physical dimension, but not much information about the spiritual.
Yeah.
And so it's important to study what is the mind, how can I focus my mind, what is it that's going on below the mind, the subconscious mind, the unconscious mind, and can I do something about it? If I'm carrying trauma from the past, how can I heal it? How can I change my attitude and perception so that I'm more open to what is the reality of the situation, rather than using my imagination and thinking that it's something else. So
Yeah. It's harnessing the power of your thoughts, essentially.
that's one aspect of it.
But, like, so I think that you can be born into a religion, but you kind of need to live a little bit before you can understand spirituality. How did your spiritual journey begin?
Your question is a very good question, because it's absolutely true that religion is something that you get born into, but I was exposed to spirituality through my mother. She started to meditate and then had me and my little brother sit for a few minutes each night. And by the time I was 12, I told her, I'm too busy. I don't want to meditate. And she was wise enough to say, fine, go your own way.
I'm so glad you said that, because as a mother, I meditate as well, and I've tried to sit with my sons to meditate with them, and I cannot get them to sit still for longer than a minute. After a while, they just start fidgeting and twitching.
But let's discuss meditation, because I think it's a very powerful tool
Yeah.
if you know how to do it. But what is the essential power in meditation, or of meditation?
There can be so many varieties of
Yeah.
meditation, and you can pick and choose. But the meditation I'm practicing belongs to what's called Raja Yoga, Raj Yoga. And it speaks about the union. Yoga means union,
Yeah.
the link of the self with the divine. And in Raj Yoga meditation, we understand what is the mind and use the mind in a conscious way, using pure thoughts, elevated, noble thoughts. So we are training our mind to go on a different dimension, and through that to connect with the divine, so
Right.
that there's an inner connection that one is able to experience, which allows us to access purity, peace, love and truth in a
Right.
way that's very much needed in today's world.
Do you think people are able to be spiritual if they're not religious, or if they don't believe in any kind of religion?
Religion and spirituality, let me touch on that for a moment. There's so many different religions, whether it's by birth or geography or however. But at the heart of each one of the religious traditions is the mystical aspect, the aspect of looking at what's going on inside the mind, going beyond the self to the divine. So that would be spirituality. And secondly, the thing that's at the heart of all traditions are the values we share. And so I believe very deeply that the connection with the divine and the values that every human being has, these are the same for all. So when somebody says, I'd like to learn to meditate, but I don't believe in God, I'd say, fine, let's begin. And they begin with meditating on the self. And as you go deeper inside yourself and you discover the treasures that you carry within yourself, you also become aware of the presence of the divine.
Absolutely.
And so people come to us saying that, but after some time, and I wouldn't put a time span on it, it could be different for different people, but people do become aware of the presence of a higher power.
Right. As an emissary of peace, traveling the world and spreading the message of peace, I mean, when I think of the idea of peace and world peace, it's such a vast concept. What kind of elements do you break it down into to make it accessible for people and understandable?
Just by saying that, you know, if I'm peaceful, I can have an impact of peace in my home with my family,
Right.
at work with the people I'm working with. Just imagine if you walk in here and you spread peace. There's so many people working here,
Yeah.
and you're able to influence them to move in a calmer way, a more constructive, creative way. It's going to have a great impact. But also, they go home and they have an impact around them at home too.
Yeah.
And so every individual has a huge impact on many, many, many others.
Yeah.
And so if I can be peaceful, there's peace in my home, peace at work, peace in my community, and peace can spread throughout the world in this way.
Yeah. Well, in this world we live in now, people have become more skeptical of organized religion. And you do interfaith work, creating harmony and understanding between different faiths. How do you do this?
Since the 70s, what I've found is that there's a growth of multicultural activity, multi-religious activity across the world. And what we find is that when you get to know each other, then although the external things may divide us because we look so different, we wear different clothes, we eat different foods, we read different scriptures, but as we come together and communicate together, that understanding allows us to know that we are actually the same being. It's the same spirit that's connecting you and me together.
Yeah. A few years ago, actually, the Pope was named Time Magazine's Man of the Year, and he delivered this amazing speech, and part of it he said, and it was quite amazing for the Pope to say this, but he said, all religions are true in the eyes of those who believe in them, because what other kind of truth is there? So that's exactly what you're saying. You know, we're all the same. There's just so much conflict, I think, between so many different religions.
What's happened is that when we look at only the external, then it's the externals of colour, of gender, of race that divide us. But if I were to see you with that vision of the inner being that you are, I'm going to be able to see the truth in you, the love and the peace in you, and the same in you also. But it means that I have to come back to my own spiritual identity first. And if I can be aware of who I am, then I can see you with that vision also.
Yeah.
If I'm locked into the box of my physical identity, that's how I'll see you in that box. And so spiritual understanding means to know myself, who I am, and to connect with that goodness that I carry within my own being. And that's an amazing thing to do for dignity, self-respect. And if I can develop that within myself, of course, my relationship with you is going to be based on that dignity and respect too.
Yes.
One of the big issues of today's world is identity, and then secondly, connected with that self-respect or lack of it. And that's because we put our respect on all the externals. My bank balance, my education, the certificates that I have, the property that I have, the size of car that I have. And all of those things are so temporary. Today, I think I've got the latest model of something, but tomorrow I discover it's old. There's something else better. And so I'm trying to race and keep up with that, and it's never going to happen.
Yeah,
it's
I can
not
never do
important.
that.
Yeah.
No.
Well, very important conversation we're having on the couch. I can't stop talking to you.
You are so beautiful.
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, more with Sister Jayanti. Plus, we launch a brand new fashion series, so stay right there.
Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, before the break, we sat down with Sister Jayanti of the Brahma Kumaris and tapped into our spiritual side. Now, it's time to tap into our fashion side with a brand new Thursday series on Afternoon Express.
So for those of you who love fashion as much as I do, kick off your shoes and get comfortable, because today we kickstart the exciting new series with Skip and Siemens exploring the ultimate capsule wardrobe and what we need to do to take care of the things that we love the most. Now, we've got fashion blogger Aisha Baker with us in the loft to tell us exactly how to work the white shirt. And later we find out more about the latest Siemens avant-garde washing machine and how it's designed to take special care of our clothes. Aisha, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thanks for having me.
I always love having you on this couch. You are literally the pocket rocket of fashion in this country.
That's awesome, thanks.
So, I mean, this segment is all about the ultimate capsule wardrobe. How would you describe the ultimate capsule wardrobe?
So, I mean, the capsule wardrobe is a classic concept. So basically, it's your 30 key pieces in your wardrobe that you use to, like, throughout your life. So, of course, your denims, a blazer, for example, a great pair of shoes, maybe a black boot, and of course, a white shirt.
I mean, how do you just put one of them in there?
I know.
I would want loads of different shoes in a capsule.
More than 30, please.
Exactly.
So your capsule, you build on your capsule, so you'd add your trendy pieces to your capsule pieces as well.
Now, let's discuss the white shirt.
Yes.
It's a key piece.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's definitely one of my favorite pieces in the capsule wardrobe. I've always had a white shirt, and my white shirt has changed, my favorite white shirt, over time.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, it's important to express your personality in your shirt, whether you're a guy or girl.
Yeah.
And of course, my personality is very flamboyant today.
love it. My favorite white shirt actually is the popped collar.
Yes, of course.
That has to be one
That's
of mine.
so you as well. And I love the shirt
it.
you're wearing today.
Yeah, this is stunning
Gorgeous.
as well. Hey, a little bit of a peplum. I love drama. White shirt has to have something unique in it.
Yes.
But tell us about some of the styles of the classic
So, I
white
mean,
shirt.
the classic white shirt, of course, has a crisp collar, button down. That's what you want to keep in your closet. If you're not as adventurous as we are with our peplums and our little ruffles, you want to go for just, you know, a classic button down with a round back because it's easier to tuck in.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's me,
Yeah,
wearing my
that's you.
cha-cha shirt.
And we saw an image just now, a man in a white shirt
Yes.
is also...
Such a good look.
It's a great
Whether
look.
you're doing a casual jeans and white shirt with sneakers or a more dressy work look with a blazer and chinos, and then you can do the mixture, which I love. So like chinos, a sneaker and a shirt, and with
Yeah.
a fedora. How cool is that?
Because the white shirts are really versatile, I think. You can dress it up and you can dress it down.
For sure. I mean, we're seeing this beautiful lady over here doing it. This is a shirt dress, which is also a great concept, and just adding great accessories to dress it up and make it look more fashion.
Yeah. That's so chic. She looks like she's ready for Saint-Tropez. Now that we have the looks in the bag, let's find out more about the very exciting avant-garde washing machine and how it keeps our classic white shirt crisp and clean.
The Siemens IDOS machine is an avant-garde design line machine. It's got a beautiful touch display with eye-sensoric sensors inside. The intelligent dosing system, we refer to it as IDOS. The machine has got a reservoir that you can fill with liquid detergent. It can take up to 1.3 liters of detergent. It will automatically dose your clothing, so you never have to worry about overdosing again. A white cotton shirt is a must-have for any wardrobe. We recommend using the cotton cycle. It washes at 60 degrees, and with Skip and Siemens, you can preserve the whiteness of your shirt.
Well, there you have it. Work your white shirt and make sure that your capsule wardrobe can live up to any occasion. Now, talking about occasion, the Skip Fashion Exchange is back and is definitely not to be missed. Visit the Skip website, skip.co.za, as well as their Facebook page, or you can visit our Afternoon Express website, afternoonexpress.co.za, for more details.
Skip loves your clothes as much as you do.
Welcome back. We are still on the couch with Sister Jayanti, and we got so excited, Jeannie and I, because during the break, Sister Jayanti has offered to do a demonstration of a meditation exercise. Are you ready, Jeannie? I think we
Definitely.
should get right into it, because that means we'll ask better questions.
Yeah, I need some peace in my life.
Good, I'm glad. What I'm going to do is speak out my own thoughts as I meditate and invite you to follow these ideas. So just let yourself sit comfortably.
To meditate, do you have to get on the floor and kind of do that yoga pose, or is it anyway?
You don't have to do
Okay,
that.
good.
You'll
And
be
the viewers at
pleased to
home can
know.
do this with us.
Right. The best thing is to have both feet on the ground, but also have your back upright so that then you stay alert. It's very easy to fall into a sweet sleep otherwise. Okay. I focus my thoughts on the inner world and go on the journey within. I watch my thoughts. I see them moving more slowly than before, and I can select the thought that I would like to have. I choose the thought of peace. I hold peace in my mind, and peace begins to feel very natural, very comfortable. And in this awareness of peace, I can feel the presence of the divine, the source of light, of love, of truth, of joy. As my thoughts connect with the divine, the light surrounds me, and in this light, I not only see myself as that spiritual being that I truly am, but I look out into the world and I see my human family, a thread of love connecting all of us together through eternity. In this awareness of the divine, I know that the power of love is that which will remove all the hurts of the past. The power of love heals the soul, and the power of love carries us forward to a better world filled with love and truth. Holding this awareness, I let my thoughts gently return to the moment here and now, but now aware of the inner world and my own inner treasures of peace, love, and truth. I come back into my action and my responsibility, recharged, filled with a different awareness.
Thank you, that was beautiful.
Wow,
So
that was
a meditation
lovely.
can literally just be that long. You don't have to sit for like an hour.
It can be 1 minute.
Really?
Yeah.
In fact,
Wow.
we have a website called Just a Minute, just-a-minute.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, in just that minute, while we were meditating, you mentioned something that struck me, the human family. And right now, the whole world feels like our human family is at loggerheads. There's so much strife, there's so much fear, there's so much pain. Many people are speaking of the end of the world being near because people are in so much pain. How do we become catalysts where we are for change? Whether we're working in communities, whether you just want to make a difference in your family, or you want to be part of a movement to change a status quo.
The first thing is that the negativity of the world around me shouldn't shake me from who I am. And so this is why I need to meditate every morning. Best thing is the morning. Any time is good, but if I begin the day with a few minutes connecting within myself, it means I have the capacity to be able to withstand all the negativity that's going to affect me through the day otherwise. And so let me hold on to my own inner peace and truth so that I don't get diverted or distracted in any way.
Yeah.
And as the power of this grows within me, through that connection with the divine, my own capacity increases. And then it's not just peace for myself, but if somebody else is getting a little bit irritated, a little bit hot under the collar, my peace can help them become calm also. So we're able to share that influence of peace. And I know it sounds like one at a time is a very slow process, but you know, it starts with one at a time, but once it reaches a certain level of critical mass, it then has an impact on many, many, many. You know, when there's a tray of water that you're freezing, the water crystals, the molecules start to crystallize, one here, one there, and then after a few have done that, within a moment, the whole tray will have frozen. And so it starts as a slow process, one at a time. But then at that time of critical mass, then many others are influenced by this.
Yeah.
So I believe that this is the next step for humanity. So many people are now interested in mindfulness and meditation, in vegetarian diet and holistic health. We never used to hear these things, say, 30 years ago, but we do hear them all the time now.
Yeah.
It's an indication of a new wave of awareness coming into the world.
And energy is everything.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us. You've brought so much peace into our loft. Thank
Everyone's
you.
falling asleep in the loft.
I hope not. I hope the creativity is flowing.
Absolutely. After the break, more beauty and some great new hair care products as well. All of that after this. Don't go away.
Live scratch-free with new Head & Shoulders African Scalp Care.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, African women, beautifully bold in expressing themselves always through their fashion and hairstyles, have a desire to be creative and unique. But with this comes a need to protect and care for their hair. The versatility of hairstyle expression is often accompanied with a compromise, which is why we're joined today by Zizwe Vundla, Head of Marketing at P&G SA, to share her insights on how to maintain the balance between expressive hairstyles without the compromise of healthy hair. Welcome to the loft.
Thank you so much for having me, Bonnie. Versatility of African hair, our type of hair, I think is the most magical thing about our hair. You know, the fact that 2 weeks ago I had Jamaican twists, now I have my afro, and this weekend I'm probably going to straighten it into a bob, I think is what makes, you know, our hair so cool, this versatility, right? But the compromise comes in when you're twisting, when you're, you know, when you're manipulating your hair so much, the scalp comes under pressure, right? So, and that's where the compromise comes in. And sometimes you feel you have to make that trade-off. But I think whether you're team natural or team weave or team relaxed, all these teams, I think the one team we should all be on is team healthy scalp, right?
Yes.
And that's where Head & Shoulders comes in, right? So it takes care of your scalp despite all that manipulation. So you don't have to make that trade-off, and you look, whatever hairstyle you decide to have, you look great.
Absolutely. I really, really like that. Team healthy hair. We're all for that team.
Exactly.
Right? Now, the Head & Shoulders ethnic hair care range is unique to sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes, it is.
But does that mean European hair needs different care?
It does. I mean, if you look at my hair, your type of hair versus our white sisters, it looks different. And so that already tells you that it's different. And the key difference of our hair is the fact that it's because it's so curly, the sebum from your scalp, so the oil in your scalp sometimes finds it very hard to get to the end. That's why we have dry hair and we have to moisturize and stuff. So one of the challenges when we were developing this shampoo, or rather the range, was to make sure that we were able to ensure the efficacy of the brand in terms of the dandruff was still, it still worked. And the fact is that 9 out of 10 African women do have dandruff. So we had to make sure we had a strong enough product to fix your scalp, but then also moisturize it enough so that you had a healthy scalp, but your hair still looked beautiful and shiny and glossy and all those wonderful things. So yes, it is different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, developing a hair care range for a specific target market takes a lot of work. What kind of process goes into making a hair care range like this one?
Okay, so specifically for Head & Shoulders, the African range, what we did is gather PhDs from across the P&G landscape, right? And specifically Black PhDs, because we wanted to make sure that they understood the hair. So we got the Black PhDs, brought them to Africa, across sub-Saharan Africa, so Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and they were chatting to consumers and getting an understanding of their hair care needs. They then produced a range of products which we tested here continuously over a while, and came up with a brand that that consumers love, which and you know, chatting to people now who have used the product, they love the product. So it shows you that all that hard work, talking to them, testing the product worked.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad that so much care and work has gone into this range.
And it was important that we did it right. So,
absolutely. Yeah. I've started using the range and I'm loving it.
Yay, I love to hear that. Tell everyone.
I will. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Bonnie.
Now, Head & Shoulders is giving away a hamper valued at 500 Rand filled with products from their new African hair care range. And to stand a chance to win, simply post on the Afternoon Express Facebook page telling us how many women out of 10 have complained about dandruff or an itchy scalp. Don't forget the hashtag #LiveScratchFree. T's and C's can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za.
Oh, and Bonnie, you really do have a good hair day every day. Now, beauty may be in the eye of the beholder, but a symmetrical face is usually a big help. We're back with your Beauty 101 guide, and this week it's all about the nose, lips, and chin. Last week we saw how the Brad Pitt jawline treatment can treat a seamlessly sculpted jawline for that perfect 5 o'clock shadow. And today, aesthetics wonder Dr. Anushka shows us how a symmetrical feature can bring out more of your inner beauty.
Many people gripe about not having the perfect nose, lips, or chin without knowing the importance of face proportions or ratios. Symmetry is a science, one that can often determine what some people deem beauty and others the truly balanced face. Dr. Anushka Reddy is someone who fully understands and appreciates the science of symmetry. And with her vast selection of non-surgical treatments available, you too can master the battle for proportional perfection.
My name's Lynn. I'm trying to start a new chapter in my life. I'd like Dr. Reddy to work on the bottom part of my face. I think this part of my face makes me look much older than I really am.
The lower part of the face plays a vital role in how attractive a face looks. So I use a ratio, it's called the divine proportion. Leonardo da Vinci actually used it when he conceptualized the Vitruvian Man. And we use that specific ratio, which is 1.618, to actually measure specific areas in the face. So when we talk about the ratio between the nose and the lower part of the face, today's patient, we're going to try and ensure that she falls within that ratio.
The results I'm actually looking for is the contour on my lips and making it look much more luscious and obviously a younger look.
Lynn, I've just looked at the ratio of your nose compared to the lower half of your face, and I feel that we just need to narrow the nose a little bit, and I'm going to be using tissue fillers to actually get this nice difference in terms of the ratio of your nose to your eyes. So I'm going to use a product that contains hyaluronic acid. We have used it in you before. As you know, there may be a little bit of swelling, but that's normal, it will settle. The nose is a very technical area to inject. It has lots of blood vessels which are linked directly to the eye. So one needs to be very careful when injecting this, because it's a watershed area for blindness. So these type of treatments need to be done by a very experienced provider. Lynn's main area of concern today are her lips. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use tissue fillers to actually add volume and contour her lips, and hopefully that will change the way her face appears, and hopefully that will make her feel better about herself. With regards to your chin, I'm happy with the height of your chin. It's just the front projection. I think we need to add a little bit of filler in there, not too much, just to give it a little bit of depth.
I think she will make my cosmetic desire and dreams come true.
I think you're going to be pretty impressed about this result. So you ready for the big reveal?
Yes.
Okay, great stuff. Here you go.
A bit different.
Today's treatment was exceptional. I think Lynn is going to be very happy with the outcome. I quite liked the way her results turned out. As you can see, Lynn has thin lips, so it's very difficult to actually create full lips in a thin person. The idea would be to just gently increase the width of her lips and the volume. So after seeing her today, I'll probably see her in 2 weeks' time, and then if she needs a little bit more volume, we would then do it at that point. Her nose was absolutely fine. I added a little bit of volume in her chin, just for a little bit of projection. The length was, as you could see when we measured it, it looked perfectly fine. So yes, I think we're pretty happy with what has turned out today. There we go.
Thank you. What I got is magic, and that's all thanks to Dr. Reddy.
Okay, I do love a good before and after.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing, like when you see the before, after. But what do you think of the results?
I think the results are amazing. I'm happy for her that she did say she wants to start a new chapter in her life. But this reminds me of when I was growing up, and in the hood, people would say, you suffer for beauty.
You do?
Yeah, that's suffering.
It's not about the process, it's
Suffering.
about the result. I think she looks absolutely fantastic. Next week, we find out how restoring volume in your face can treat medical conditions, as well as offer a healthier looking you. Make sure you tune in for your weekly dose of beauty with a purpose, and follow Dr. Anushka Reddy on Instagram for the latest updates in the aesthetic treatments. After the break, we're going to be in the kitchen making some delicious haddock enchiladas, courtesy of Afternoon Express viewer Janine Dunnett. Welcome back to Afternoon Express, and it's a good time to join us because we're just about to get started with something so delicious in the kitchen, courtesy of Janine, our fantastic winner, and of course we've got the lovely Sue as well in the kitchen. How are you, ladies?
I'm good. Oh, great, thanks.
So you entered our competition.
Yes.
You submitted a recipe.
Yes.
And it was a haddock enchilada.
Yes.
And you're going to make it for us today.
Yes, I am.
Is it delicious? Is it a family favourite?
We enjoy fish, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
But you live in Cape Town.
I do.
Well, it's a crime to not have fish almost every day if you live in Cape Town.
I mean, Museum, so it's close to...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can go surfing and fishing in one day. Okay, how do we get started with that whole enchilada?
Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to start on the sauce.
Yeah.
Would you like to add some milk in there?
You can put me to work.
That's great.
Sous chef in the
I think
kitchen
Sue's
today.
a little bit better in the kitchen than I am. Oh, but there she's burning the milk already. Nice one. I'm joking.
She's throwing me under the bus.
Don't cry about spilled milk.
So the milk's going to heat up a bit, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the corn flour with some milk. Because
Okay.
it's actually quicker and it's not that lumpier.
And then what does that create?
It creates a sauce.
Oh,
and
lovely.
the corn flour basically thickens the milk.
Is that white sauce that you sometimes see in a lasagna?
Yes.
That is so difficult to make.
No, it's not.
Well, depending on your skill level, I suppose it can be.
Do you ever do yours with flour, Janine, or is this
I
your...
mean, no, I always use corn
Okay.
flour because it's quicker, thickens quicker.
Perfect.
So, corn flour comes from a corn and flour is from wheat. Oh, is that the same thing?
You're so funny. So once a starch-based thickness, it's maizena.
Okay.
So if any, because I remember when I was younger and I was a little confused, they'd be like, have you got maizena or have you got corn flour? It's actually the same thing.
Okay, amazing.
So this is actually... you thicken sweet things with this, you thicken savoury with it, whereas the flour is just such a long way to cook out. So
I know, I've
maizena,
tried to
corn
make
flour,
a
same
white
thing.
sauce before, and it's a lot of stirring to get the lumps out, but you seem to have really got things under control.
Yeah, because basically what you do is that you mix the paste, and then you add it to your heated milk.
Okay, lovely.
And then it starts thickening up.
Amazing. Next step.
And we need to add some mustard to that to give some flavour.
Lovely.
And I'm going to keep on doing this,
You're
right?
gonna
This is
keep
what
on
we're going to do to
stirring.
keep the
Go
lumps
for
out of
it. We've only got a couple of minutes, and that's what I really love about a meal like this is convenience.
Janine, once this is going, how do we start on our main filling bit?
Now, we basically some green pepper.
Yeah.
Some onions.
So it's quite nice and easy because this is literally just a two kind of pot meal.
Yeah.
You basically heat that up, add some garlic.
You can throw the whole thing in there. Yeah, I mean, you've seen on the show, Clem and I literally load every dish with garlic. But it means you'll never get sick. I say that, but I'm permanently sick.
And then we basically add some chili, because you can't have Mexican without chili.
Of course.
And Janine, I really love that Sea Harvest product. So easy to use, packaged conveniently, and also sustainable fishing. I'm really all about the sustainability. So
Absolutely.
I'm really glad that you've chosen the Haddock product today because it does just work so well.
And as we eat lots of fish, and it's just easy, and you don't want to have the same boring things all the time, and that's why I came up with the enchilada.
Okay, and then haddock is amazing because it's a smoky fish, hey, so it definitely it contributes to that Mexican flavour.
Ooh. Yes. It does contribute to the Mexican flavour, and but the chilies and the garlic is obviously...
Amazing. Okay, chili in.
Chili in.
What next?
What next? And then what we're going to do is we're going to flake the haddock.
Yeah.
So
how
that
do you flake the haddock? Do you want me to help you with anything?
No, it's great.
Okay, great, good.
Basically,
Today's a busy day for me in the kitchen.
You use a fork, and you basically just flake it like that. The skin stays behind.
Yeah.
And this is already cooked, correct?
This has been steamed, yes. It's been steamed.
Oh, there you go. Okay, then do we just add it to the base
just add it to
of our enchilada?
We're actually adding it...
Oh, to that?
We're going in there, we are.
Yes, go for it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm still seeing how we're building the enchilada. Okay. And then what happens?
And then we basically just need to let it simmer a bit, and then we're going to put the fish into the wrap.
Okay.
And then we pour some sauce on it. We need to add some cheese sauce, some cheese to that.
Okay, perfect.
Amazing. So let's build the wrap and the final step. I just want to see how to do it.
Okay.
You see, a white sauce is not easy.
But you know what? Look how lumpy that actually is. So once that thickens,
exactly,
we know that that's going to make a nice smooth sauce, which is great.
Lovely. So there we're filling our enchilada already. That tasty fish. This is going to be a fantastic dinner. And remember, if you want all of the details for this amazing recipe, all you need to do is SMS the keyword fish to 33650, and they will send you the shopping list and, of course, the recipe for this fantastic invention by our lovely winner today. Okay, so throw in the cheese, and then, because of the magic of TV, da-dun-da-dun, we've already got a finished version over here that looks so yummy, and a little bit of guac. You know who's a big fan of Mexican food? Bon Bizzle.
It's Bon
Bizzle.
Wow.
I know that. You know what the thing is with something like this? Bonnie and I are literally just going to cut it in half.
Cut it in half
and have
a
one
feast.
each.
Absolutely.
We're totally doing this.
Thank you so much.
I also haven't tasted a recipe yet. I think you need my expert judging opinion on that. Thank
Janine,
you.
you've tasted this recipe plenty of times, so you don't have to taste it today.
Great.
Thank you so much for coming to prepare it for us.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
So lovely having you here. Thank you so much for joining us in the kitchen again. Always a pleasure having you here. And of course, thank you for joining us at home. We're going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's quite an exciting show, actually.
Yes, it's going to be incredible.
And it's Friday.
Are you still at peace?
I am so zen. I'm totally going to take on meditation. It's actually the way of the future. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow. Until then, namaste.
Happy eating. Happy enchiladas.
Nada. Feel Good production.